The right way, yes. Good, thank you, Brad. But all in all, this is what it's about, is about having some work time together, about knowing what we want to do, what we want to accomplish, and ask questions in the chat as you go, because this is about all of us continuing to get better. So with that, I'm going to share just a couple of ideas that Tim and I had today, and he's going to pipe in with some here, but really just first of all, congratulations being here. I mean, this is the Consistency Club, and that is what you guys are doing. And I just love that you wanted to be here, that you're open to, joining me in my Saturday morning kind of routine. As Antonio always says, of course I'm going to be there. That's what we do. So just congratulations on that. And then really what we're going to do today is go back to the basics. It's such a simple, basic business, and we just rinse and repeat, but we're going to just make sure you're checking your business every day. Your client support is stellar. That's where we really lock into relationship with these people. Like Abby, build into the depth of the relationship and what's possible, being consistent as you guys are, but being consistent in all areas of what you're wanting to do in your life and in your business. And then the follow-up, man, is that the key to this business, is just staying connected, following up, and loving on people. So, what that really, I thought we just kind of do a quick check. This is kind of, a pulse check. If you haven't done your mid-month, wow, today is like dead mid-month. Well, I guess tomorrow, but, it's a great time. One thing is to always go and check your B Slims. And if you're not sure how to do this, we've done a little bit of training on it, but you can, just check your B Slims for the rest of the month, see where you are today, and does that equal your goal for your month? On your map, we all have our maps, right? What was on the top of your map that was your goal? But remember that you don't want to lower your goals or your expectations because of where you are. There's so much month to still get through and help people. So much month to go. And so up your actions to meet your goals. And so we're going to hit on a couple of things that maybe you could put into the rest of your month that would help you do that. But today during the Power Hour, if you haven't, Power Hour, talking too quickly. If you haven't checked your business and you haven't checked your B Slims, go and do that during this time so that you know where you are for the rest of the month. The next thing is, once you've checked that and you see where you are in your goal setting and your action or your business, where it is today, are you doing your 3, 3, and 3? I tell you what, I have heard so many people this week that I've been doing some mid-month or a little bit early or some share calls with, that 3, 3, and 3 is actually, proving to be true in starting conversations. Those conversations build, just like we see how they do each month, into active clients, active potential clients, and real potential partners too. So that is such a cool thing. And then I don't know if it's not quite where you want it to be, then what a great action step to up, the 10X rule. If you're not familiar with that, I'll put the 10X rule later in the chat, but up your frequency. I love that phrase, up your frequency, because that just means do more of the same, because like Abby said, you have no idea who you're inspiring. You have no idea who's really watching. And maybe it'll just be that one extra post or that one extra, PM that you're loving on somebody, or a recipe. So that's something to just, consider as you're looking at where your business is. You're inspecting what you expect, and are your actions going to be enough for what you want to achieve and how many people you want to help and reach? Or, can you up your frequency? Personally, I think I can always up my frequency, to a degree, because why not? It just makes it a little bit more fun. So the next thing is, make sure you're inviting your clients on your celebration calls, because I know you guys are so consistent that you're doing your celebrations and your check-ins with your clients on a regular basis. But are you inviting them to pay it forward with referrals? It's not always pay it forward in inviting them to coach. We all, have our ideas of who we'd love to have on our team. But, invite them. Remember to invite them to pay it forward to their friends. So just reminding them how easy that can be, the steps on that. You all know it's easy. We've got so many ways in Simple Systems and in our trainings on how to invite for referrals. But, what is your way of inviting your clients, and you have to be a little discerning with each client. What's going to attract them in offering this to their friends or offering you to their friends. So that's something to think about as we go into this power time together too. Have you invited your clients to pay health forward with referrals to the people that are noticing and loving on them? Tim, if you see anything or want to add anything too, or in the chat, please feel free. I'd love to hear any ideas on this.
Hey, if I could jump in, a couple of quick things, because just to build on what you just said, Kel, I went through and invited all of my clients to share their story, share their journey on social media. And the ones that did, they had so much fun doing it that they will continue to do it. And they had a lot of response and a lot of people just loving on them, and cheering them on. So that was a really fun thing to do. And it's something that I will continue to do more. And also, inspect what you expect. One of the things that I challenged myself to do more of is because, our kids are grown and stuff. So we have to, go out and do our, find communities, like Abby has a community with the hospital and other things. People have communities with their kids, and sports and stuff like that. And so I found a group. It's a CrossFit for 50s. Yeah, I'm in my 50s, so yeah, I get it. But what a great community. I went and met with some of them yesterday, and absolutely love the community. They do things even after the workouts and stuff like that. So it's about getting into different communities, and it's not about our agendas. It's just about relationships. So that got me pretty stoked yesterday as well.
Yes, it did. He's very excited, and I don't know that it'll be someplace I get to go because they do like big old tires and stuff. But thanks, Tim. Those are great, and that's what it's about. It's about being creative and getting, and you'll see later, getting out of your own box, getting out of your own way. Another thing, that we can look at during this month is brainstorm HLAs. And for those of you who are newer or maybe don't get it, it was a little hard for me. High leverage activities. So, start a fun meet up for a walk evening. Abby did this and had a ball. I know a lot of people are meeting up at parks. Last week, we heard about just meeting up when you go to visit somebody and you want to do something active, meet up and do something other than, our society focuses so much around food. So think about what you can do, just very easy, almost impromptu, but be consistent in that you're going to show up if you say you're going to. Another idea is to be a leader. I know a lot of us have jobs still, or, we are very active in our kids' schools. We were, but, be a leader of health at work or your school groups. What does that mean? Think about, like, even today, could you reach out to 3 or 4 of your coworkers or some of the people that you do PTA groups or things with and say, hey, we should meet up at lunch, or maybe after we drop the kids off, do you guys want to do a quick walk? It's so beautiful outside now. So keep your mind thinking about how you can bring health into your circles. We can easily get caught into trying to share on social media only, and we're here today. Obviously, we're going to work on that, but these are places you can reach out and make plans for next week. Get some activities on your calendar. One of our coaches, I don't know if she's on today, Michelle Taylor, she put her own before and after in an 8x10 frame on her desk. Well, it's actually credenza, looking out kind of at where her office was, and she's had people notice because they didn't know her before. That's a really cool idea. So talk about, thinking outside the box, be proud of your journey. Where can you kind of share where you were and where you are now with people who don't know? So I loved that idea, and it actually spurred some fun conversation for her. So I'm excited for that. And, another idea, it's fall, it's beautiful most places, and you can invite people in your neighborhood. Just, a lot of people do this, obviously. Come on over after the ball game or when we're back from all the sports. But you know what? How many people actually plan some silly or fun, family-friendly activities? That's a fun thing to do, so you don't end up focusing on the food or on the, sitting. Do some fun things. Actually, a lot of times, even like Tim and I don't have kids to encourage people to come over with. So we're inviting people over to play bocce ball. It's just an activity, so that we don't always have to be focused around food. So keep your brains open to what that looks like. So now we're basically, we've got I'm looking here, we've got about 30 minutes. I would love if anybody else would like to come off. I've got these are fun activities that we can actually spend the next 25, 30 minutes working. But if anybody else would like to share something that's worked well for them, I am so about hearing, because all ideas are great, and they spur us all on to other ideas. So does anybody else have an idea they'd like to share right before we go into our work time? I'll take that off and see.
Kelly?
Yes, hi.
Yeah, I'll share. Oh,
hi.
Go
Oh,
ahead,
hi. Okay, well, I love April's and then Caroline too.
Okay, so I just wanted to say I'm really glad that you're pointing out all the different things, because lately I've had a lot of people say to me, we spend so much time talking about Facebook, which I know I personally have, helped a lot of people get healthy that found, what I was saying on Facebook. However, that is not the end all be all. And I think that I'm finding a lot of people thinking that that's it, and they don't understand why they don't have 20 clients per month and 10 coaches per month signing up because of what they're putting on Facebook. And, Facebook, it is really important to do it. It's really important to stay consistent in the 3, 3, and 3, but it's only one tool. And so I think what you're saying, it's getting out there. It's finding every tool possible to you. So, for instance, I started a walking group. But all those ideas that you're saying, it's all about getting out and using different mechanisms, like the gal with the picture on her desk. You've got to go out there and do lots of different things. One single thing isn't going to do it. So anyway, I'd love that you're touching upon all that. So thanks very much.
Oh, thank you, April. And Carolina, I'd love to hear your ideas too. This is so good for all of us.
Yeah, well, I was just going to reiterate what April just said, just because it's exactly what's happening to me. So I've only been able to have like a handful of business off of Facebook, even though I'm like trying to stay super consistent. That's my son showing you his drawing. I'm sorry. Say hi. So, he's proud too. So, but it's only like a handful, right? And so it's been like a whirlwind of emotions, because it's like, how like we feel when we all have that moment where we feel that we're doing exactly everything we need to do, but there's always something else that we can do. And it's exactly like April said. My coach, Lori, was the one to say, well, you can't just kick off of business off of Facebook. You need to do something. So what I started doing was, I have, you just met my little one. I started getting involved with the parent committee at his school. And so like, that's a perfect place to meet others. And I started volunteering at church again. And you're in kindergarten, baby. So, but here's the cool thing that I want to share with you guys. So there's some people that I have on my Facebook network that aren't really too active on Facebook, but it doesn't mean that they aren't watching. And so I ran into some of them on Thursday, and they're like, oh my gosh, Carolina, I can't believe everything that you're doing, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? They haven't given me a like or made a comment or anything, so I had no idea, but they are watching. So it's really exciting, now that I'm back and I'm going to start volunteering, doing some stuff and being around these people, because it's going to happen evidently, because they're going to see that it's, that I'm in this like straight line of consistency with this. So eventually, these are future clients. So I'm just like, it's like the best thing I could have ever done, just like get off my computer and out of my house. And since I do have some extra time, just really go out and meet some people and have some real face-to-face contact, because that is, where we can really start creating real relationships other than just like a Facebook message. So that's what I want to share.
Wow, that was money. Oh my gosh. And I'm sorry I said your name incorrectly, Carolina.
It's okay.
Oh, thank you for sharing, because that's real life experience, and like April said, when you start to experience it and you wake up to what's possible, thinking out of the box, that's when, we do get to be in people's lives for real. So thank you so, so much, both of you. That's so cool. So now, it's about 10:20. I guess we haven't talked that long, but here are just some ideas. I'm going to just pop this back up. Thank you both for sharing so much. These are some ideas that we can take into the next 20, 25 minutes and make this our work time because we set it aside. Think outside the box as you're creating some of these relationships, as you're following up, like Carolina said. I'm probably still not saying the word correctly. I'm really bad with that. I did good. Okay, good. I'm sorry. But it is about like, where am I and where would I like to impact other circles of influence that I have? I took a baking class yesterday. Believe me, everyone that knows that is so not me, but somebody invited me who I'm enjoying getting to build a relationship with. And it was fun and I was completely out of my element. But that's what it's about, is about getting outside of our comfort zones a little, or back into a place that we knew we really enjoyed being, now that you can get back into community in different ways. Or is there some time that you can carve out to get into a new community like Tim? Because that's what it's about. It's about spreading the news, spreading the good news that, we have hope, we have health, and like we all know, we never know who's watching and what that one thing, whether we're doing it outside in our worlds or in our Facebook worlds, will be the one thing that makes them finally say, I'd like to know more. Because that's what it's about, right? We're paid to start conversations. And those conversations lead to healthy journeys and lead to that currency of the heart, like Suzanne was talking about earlier. So with that, I'm going to set the timer. It's 10:23, so I'm going to set the timer for 25 minutes, and that'll get us right to the top of the hour, and we can do some awesome power time activities. I'll leave this screen up. Here are just some new things. They're not new, and they're not new at all. These are what we do, right? You could change before and after. Cindy Wood talked about that a couple of weeks ago about, sometimes it's not a weight loss change. It's a different change. So is there something new in your before and after that you could pop in there about your business or about your mental health or your capabilities now that you have some more freedom? Do you have some clients that maybe you didn't quite ask for their, who's noticing, or if they would post your before and after on their page this week in your client check-ins? Or do you need to up your 3, 3, and 3? You know how to reach out. Are there some people on the list that you didn't get to this week, and we can go the 10X rule on that? It's just about inviting into conversations with them. And last but not least, as we always say, if your structure's not set, if you're new, if you don't feel you're as organized as you want to be able to really bring on 10 more clients and feel like you're capable of handling all that, then use this time to get your structure set. Get your health assessments back up to speed. Don't go back and get old ones, but those kinds of things. That's what this is for. Whatever you want this time to be so that you feel like you can move your business forward and reach your goal for this month, then let's do it right now. So I'm going to just leave these up. I'm going to set the timer and we will come back. If you have any questions, please pop them in the chat. There's a lot of us on here that will be happy to answer. Okay, so here we go. Have fun.
Is it? I know. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. Yesterday, though, this was. Yesterday. Oh, hey, Rich, you got air pump? The what? An air pump, you like for retired.
Okay, how's everybody doing? It was a fun 25 plus minutes, huh? Everybody's working. I love this. I almost hate to interrupt. Go another 5 minutes. Okay, I'll pop back in. We'll do a quick wrap up in just a couple more minutes so that all of you can keep this great momentum going.
Yeah, I do the same. Mm. Mm. Oh, come on.
Okay, guys, I'm going to just wrap this up. You can keep working if you're on a roll for sure. Just want to make sure that we all are getting ready, to really wrap up the second half of the month the way the pros do, right? That's what we've been trained to do thanks to this great Miller line we're in. So a couple of last things as you're, listening and working at the same time is, remember to think, stay with the basics, but think outside the box. What do you see that's inspiring you, and can you create your version of it? Copycatting is the best form of a compliment. So if you see something that somebody's doing or you want to emulate, make it yours. If it inspired you, you're going to inspire some other people with that. And then, last but not least, we always want to just make sure that we do inspect our business. As Brad and Ashley have always said, do what the pros do. Stay consistent, lean into your support. Mid-month, we talked about that a little bit at the beginning. This is where you can really check and see and use that plan. That's why we do the maps. That's why we have that plan, to know where you are, to know where you want to be and what steps you're going to take to get there. That was what part of this is doing. But stay connected, stay on the course of what you're creating. This is, again, we're so blessed to have a simple business, but we have pros who have laid the path for us and do what they do. That's how, that's what Tim and I do. We follow what Brad and Ashley and David and Terry do, and the other great trainers who share their tips and tools with us, because it is a proven equation, right? That's just like our healthy journey. So, you know, we always want to look at our business, want to grow 1 to 2 points each month. So is it in your front line? Is it bringing your team on? Is it helping your teams grow by 1 or 2 points? But staying consistent with these simple steps, focusing on what you want to create. Take a minute to refocus. If you're not equaling out to your goals, you know, up your actions. We went over some really fun things. Everybody had so many great things to add today. I really appreciate all of that. And, you know, with that, if you need any help with how to really check your business, mid-month, reach back to your support team. If you know where you're headed and you want some more ideas, or you want to double check yourself, check your support team, right? It's always going to point back to check with your support. That's who gets, you know, it's another set of eyes or ears on this, and it really makes a huge difference in doing it together. That hashtag better together didn't just come out of nowhere, right? So anyway, with that, I'm just excited that we all got to be together Saturday. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for feeding me and inspiring me with so much of the great stuff that you all shared. And with that, I'm going to just say have a great weekend. Keep spreading the news and have some fun. Have some fun. Pam, you're welcome. It's always fun. So thank you guys. I just love that we get to work together. This is a highlight of my week. So anything else, you know, we're here for you as always. And it's just a joy to be a part of your teams as well.
Thank you. Thanks, Kelly.
Thanks, everybody.